you so much for being here. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, thank you. I'm Lisa Gandolfi. I'm the VP of Marketing for Inolex.
Can you sort of tell me a bit about yourself, your journey, and Inolex, please?
Sure. So Inolex is an ingredient design company. We specialize in innovative ingredients for the beauty and personal care industry. We've been in business for over 145 years, so a long time in the industry, and really focused into the personal care space for the past 10 to 20 years.
And we're sort of here today to discuss you recently overhauled and sort of reinvigorated your corporate identity. So could you tell me a little bit more about that, please?
Sure. We're really excited about this new introduction or reintroduction of Inolex into the personal care and beauty space. We recently introduced a completely new visual identity going across everything that Inolex does, including a new logo, new visual language with some really compelling imagery. And we're really excited about it. It is part of a process that we've been going through for well over 18 months, really looking at who Inolex is, where are we bringing new value, different value to the industry. And what we really looked at was our capabilities in ingredient design and having this sort of intersection between science, nature, and some craft or some artistry, and being focused first on science and focused first on bringing something new to the category and reimagining things for our industry. That really drove where we went with our imagery. So you'll see our new logo, which is really exciting, with a clear marcation on the X at the end of our name with this intersection of fluid and rigid, which is really indicating that intersection between art and science. And then the imagery is just really striking. We're really excited about it because it's not just beautiful, but inspired by a woman named Anna Atkins, who was a rebellious scientist in the 1800s. So rebellious because she was a female scientist to begin with, but also very innovative and found new ways to study plants and record plants at that point in time. And because she was also an artist, the science is also just beautiful. And so we were inspired by her to really guide our visual language. And that's what you see in our new hero imagery, the beautiful pink flower that you're seeing representing Inolex recently.
I've noticed also that you haven't used imagery of people within the new corporate identity. Why is that the case?
That was a conscious decision and something we spent a lot of time talking about before we really dove into what our new visual language would be. And we felt it was important thinking about what's going on in our world in terms of beauty definitions, mental health, wellness. And really it was important for us to recognize that as ingredient designers, we're not here to define what is beautiful in a person or on a person. And so we made the conscious choice to not represent beauty through people in our imagery. So you will see a complete lack of people in all Inolex imagery going forward. And really this focus on all of the beauty that is there in nature, and the beauty that's found through this intersection of science and art.
Fantastic, fantastic. And sort of in my time looking at Inolex and researching the company, you seem like quite a fiercely independent company. Sort of what are the benefits of that?
We absolutely are. For about 40 years, we've been fiercely independent. And what's really exciting about that is the level of risk-taking that we're able to take and the true long-term view that we can have. So that is part of our ethos, and part of what is really core to Inolex is this independence. It's what allows us to take big risks in the market and be trying to drive our industry forward, because we're not beholden to 5-year timelines on returns on investment and things that may be more prevalent in companies that are not in this space of independence. And a great example of that is in the late 1990s, we brought capryl glycol to the market, which was one of the first alternative preservation ingredients, when no one was really asking for alternative preservation yet, but the scientists at the time saw the opportunity for that in the market and that it would be very important in the future. And as we all know, today formulations are not being created with parabens, they're not being created with formaldehyde donors, and things like alternative preservation like capryl glycol are incredibly important. But that's a 20-year horizon that we were focused on from an innovation perspective. And that kind of ethos remains as part of being fiercely independent, where we are looking for what is the future in 10, 20 years from now, and not just looking in the very short term with our innovations.
And I guess what drives a lot of that is your community. There's a strong focus on that as well, I've seen. Could you tell me a little bit more about that, please?
Absolutely. That is one of our brand intentions, is community. It's really important for us to be positive members of the beauty and personal care space around the world. So it's important for us to support our local cosmetics organizations. It's important for us to also be very present with our customers. So it's not uncommon for us to have a meeting with our customers where we have our CEO present, where we have our president present, as well as, you know, the traditional team that you may see interacting with our customers. And having that open access to all of the Inolex team members is really important to us. We participate in a lot of community events and really try to focus on education when we're at these events. So one of the things that we feel like it's important for us to give back is to help educate the industry on what we know and what we've been learning. Of course, we want to introduce people to our product, but it's also about inspiring and bringing new science into the full community.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I guess as 2023 approaches, what are some of Inolex's goals for the new year?
Well, certainly with the launch of this new visual identity, as I said, it was a lot about sort of looking into who we are and how we're different on the market, and really representing who we think Inolex is and who we want to be into the future. So you'll see a lot of that sort of inspiration coming through, this focus on new products that also bring some artistry to them, but some rebellious nature as well. So you won't see a lot of mainstream coming from Inolex. We've got some exciting new things coming that are continuing to challenge us as an industry and think about how we can push ourselves forward and push our consumers forward and bring them something that they maybe don't want quite now, but we need to help them understand why it's important to think about what's needed for the world in the future as well. So that's one of the things we're really excited about. And then we'll have some great announcements coming on our global presence as well. So we've got a great team around the world in Brazil, Latin America, Europe, different parts of Asia. And we're looking for some great expansion in many of those regions. So there'll be some exciting news coming there also. And then one of the things that we've really pride ourselves on is supporting what we say through third-party verification. So working with different reputable regulatory bodies and certifying bodies to represent the Inolex ethos out into the world. So we've got some great partnerships coming up. One of the things that we're really excited about is a program called Chem Forward Safer, which is looking at the safety and environmental aspects of ingredients and helping educate our customers on that safety and on the environmental impacts, but with a scientific backed third-party view on our ingredients. So really backing up what we say. And we have over 40 ingredients on that platform that have just been registered. So we're really excited about that and looking forward to do more with them next year as well.
Fantastic, fantastic. It all sounds extremely exciting. So looking forward to seeing it all come to fruition next year. I think that is fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today. Really lovely to chat with you.
Thank you.